Last time on the Ultimate Cowboy Showdown, it was every cowboy for himself. Starting right now, you're no longer on teams.
You got him by the trailer, but you ain't got help to pull him in the trailer. You think your horse can pull him by itself?
Hey, I think I can do it.
Well, if you want to do it, here, have it at it then.
JP found himself in the crosshairs of Tyler and Hunter. Did you stay with the plan?
No, sir.
No, we did stay with the plan.
We stayed with the plan.
But JP proved his grit.
Let me talk. I seen him miss, and I saw an opportunity to shut him down, and I took it, and I did catch him deep, but that's where I needed backup.
And I sent him to the fence. We thought you did a good job today. You'll sit on the fence.
Appreciate that.
Thank
you.
Good job, JP.
Thank you.
Jen wasn't as lucky. Gather your personals.
Yes, sir.
Hit the trail. And now there are 4 cowboys left. Who will ride on and who will be sent home in the next elimination? Only one will take home the $50,000 worth of cattle, an Arrowquip Q-Catch cattle chute, and a rawhide portable corral. Who will win the Ultimate Cowboy Showdown?
We're getting down to the wire, and my goal right now is to bring this herd back to my wife and my kids, and nothing's gonna get in my way.
I'm here in the final 4, which is phenomenal. It's game on.
We don't know the challenge today. None of us know what we're about to get ourselves into. But I don't care. Win at all costs, and I mean win at all costs.
I'm not content with making the final 4. I do think JP is the weak link. I think he just kind of got lucky and was on the right teams to make it this far. So, hate to see him go, but I like to watch him lead.
All right. Morning, Cowboys.
Morning.
You're the final 4. You should be proud. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you.
You're all one step closer to winning a herd of your own, and this is your chance to prove that you deserve it. Now, this challenge is designed to test your grit and ability to wrangle a steer on your own and load it into a trailer. You'll each be assigned a color that corresponds to a steer ear tag and the trailer it needs to go into. Now, after you've loaded your steer, there are 4 more steers out there. Just go get one and load it. Once you've loaded the 2 steers and your horse and closed the gate, that's the end of the challenge. I want to remind you that there's no more immunity buckle, and now it's every cowboy for themselves. This week's challenge is going to be divided into 2 parts. The order that you finish in is going to be important for the next challenge. That's all I'm going to tell you. So don't finish last. All right? Everybody got it? Saddle up. All right, Cowboys, let's ride. You're burning daylight.
So today our challenge is kind of a speed race, and we've been doing everything fast the whole time we've been here. I'm pretty much in a groove of going fast now. It's getting easier to go that fast. It doesn't matter what's going to happen. I still have to do my job to the best that I can do and win.
My strategy is I want to go to the far corner where they're at, just kind of direct them towards the trailer. When I get a good shot, take it, and then just stay behind the steer and just keep pushing him to the trailer.
This challenge is all about being creative, being a problem solver, and figuring out how to get the job done. So I'm gonna have to work smarter, not harder, because the steers are big, these other guys are strong, and I'm just gonna have to use my wits and see if I can outdo them.
Let's see what these final 4 Cowboys can do working against each other at the same time.
Ooh, looked like Hunter got his peeled off. He found his ear tag. He's on the chase right now.
Yeah, he got it.
He got him.
Yeah.
Here goes Tyler. He's got his roped. Katie's got hers roped. They're all kind of chasing. John Paul did a good job riding up.
My strategy today is to drive him as close as I can to that trailer, and I'm gonna put a loop on him as soon as I feel like he's kind of in a safe zone and he's close enough where I don't have to get in a bind dragging him over there. I want him to think it's his idea to be in that trailer.
Hunter's dragging his, got his held up, but he's further off right there.
Katie's gonna have to try to lead that steer, I think.
Tyler's got this one half
Tyler's
headed.
got one.
JP's got him caught. Katie's coming with hers. Everyone's got one caught and driving them in.
We might have a race right here.
Everybody's driving them up here
Okay,
close.
we got JP to his trailer.
Tyler's got his dallied up right here tight. He's gonna set up in good position. Looks like
JP's loading
JP is
him.
loaded. He's gonna leave old Sarley back, or Roney right here and go shut the gate.
Hunter still ain't got his.
Tyler's
Here comes Hunter with his.
As I shut the slamming gate on my first one, I kind of glance over as I'm grabbing my horse, and me and JP are getting on our horse at the same time. And I knew at that point, all I need to do is just rope this next one faster than JP.
John Paul's mounting back up.
Yep, he's coming.
Right now, this is between Tyler and I. I'm just getting anxious, getting nervous, and it was a hard thought to kick because he was right behind me, you know, and the moment I'm thinking, kick that out of your head. Just finish your job.
Hunter and Katie Joe are finally moving on to their second steer.
John Paul's back after him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tyler might cut in there on him.
Did he get him? Yeah,
Yep,
he got him. He got him caught.
Right now, my biggest competition is JP, and I had a decision. I can either kind of follow JP, and if he misses, that steer's gonna be open for me to take, and he'll be right here at the trailers, and he'll have to go to the back corner to get the other. But I should have known better. JP ain't gonna miss a shot like that. So now I'm flustered. I'm like, now I gotta ride further away from the trailers, pick the wilder steer, and I thought, oh.
JP just needs to get that steer in his trailer to win. He better hurry, because Tyler just roped one and Hunter's on the chase.
Hunter's
Hunter's got
his
his
rope.
coming. Looks like JP's having a little trouble over here getting his steer to come.
I don't know
to the
what's
trailer.
going on over here.
Katie Joe's kind of behind right now.
Tyler's loping his right up here just like he needs to.
As I'm driving him up there, I'm able to see JP. I think it was because his horse was gassed getting to the first steer. He can't pull the steer now. So now JP is like bogged down, and I'm thinking, yes, smooth and easy. And I'm just whipping my steer from behind, just kind of like, woohoo, I'm gonna do it.
We got a race going on here, boys.
Katie's trying to get hers caught. She's got him. What's that? Right up.
I keep on trying to drive him, and he's just constantly fighting me right now. I mean, he does not want to work with me. So I ease around him, and I just drive him with Boone. Boone just stays with him and kind of helps me guide him over there to that trailer.
Looks like John Paul's actually taking the lead now. Tyler's right behind him.
There goes John Paul, steers in.
He's got to get his horse in the trailer to finish the challenge.
John Paul's got the gate set. Tyler's got to move his cow in the front.
Looks like JP's got his loaded up.
Hi.
That's a big win for John Paul.
I did it. I won. Ah, it feels good.
Tyler's done.
I'm not here to win second. That's like kissing your sister. I do feel defeated because I know where 30 seconds worth of just small mistakes come into play.
Katie Joe better hurry, because what place she gets here will determine the order of the second half of this challenge.
Being the size I am, I have to adapt. Those steers, they could take big advantage of me, and you gotta just jump in and be fearless and just do it. You don't have a choice.
Mine was pretty dang ranchy, if you want to ask me. What more could I do? I picked the black steer up and put him in the trailer. I drew bad. Simply drew bad. That's what cost me time. That's what cost me winning this first in this competition today.
Hunter's done.
Hunter's done.
I want to win, and I'm mad that I lost. I'm not pleased at that at all. Not at all. I'm not happy with that.
Come on, Katie. I'll help you. Hold on.
They all
She's
come
got
to
him.
help. That's what this is all about. Cowboys
Helping each other.
helping each other. I mean, it's clear who came in first and everything. And
Yeah.
now let's just help everybody else get it done.
Get it done, yep.
Jason,
Challenge
yeah,
over with.
That's it.
Thanks, guys. I mean, I came in last. That steer weighs twice as much as I do. But I got him loaded. Being a woman, you have to fight hard to be an equal here. And I've worked my butt off to be here. I'm not less than those guys. I'm not. Just because it may take me just a little bit longer, I'm not less. I can do my job, and I deserve it.
All right, Cowboys, y'all did a good job. I gotta tell you, my heart swole up a little bit there at the end to watch y'all all work together. That's the Cowboy way. JP, you did good. You got yours loaded up first, and then
Good job, JP.
Tyler, Hunter.
Thank you.
Everybody pitched in, helped everybody else. Good job, all around. Good job. All
Thank
right,
you.
we'll do some more work here after a while.
That's gonna hurt me.
You'll be all right.
Coming up on the Ultimate Cowboy Showdown.
I'm trying to keep my temper under control, but I don't deserve to go home.
And later, Katie Joe kind of let us down a little bit. Anything you want to say about that?
I'm gonna unload my horse. He's breathing super hard.
That's
job,
tough.
David. You did
Thank you. I appreciate it, Tyler.
And steer
Again,
for him.
good job.
Good job, man.
In this situation, you know, finishing last could really hurt me in this competition, even if I did get the job done. You know, and that frustrates me because I've shown up with my rope every day and I've out-roped them, I've out-sorted them, I've out-raced them, I've done all those things. And just because I had a little bit more trouble with my cows doesn't mean that I don't deserve to stay.
Oh, thank you,
It
ma'am.
broke.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Everybody's made mistakes, but the person that I have noticed has never really done anything super spectacular or super, super bad would be JP.
Yeah. I'm trying not to get emotional because this feels like the first time that I ever really did good, you know. I don't, out of all the times, the days that we've been here.
And yeah, he did win today, but this is the first day he's really ever just stepped up and been like, hey, I'm gonna kick y'all's butts. I don't know, I'm trying to keep my temper under control, but I don't deserve to go home.
How was your steers? Were they just pretty waspy?
They were fast. They were just headed to the trees.
That's probably what got you in a bind with that trailer being on that far side and they're looking for that.
Yeah. I mean, sure, I'm frustrated right now, but you know, my sister always told me that if you get knocked back, you can always go forwards just like an arrow. It gives me motivation to keep going. I just got to regroup and show up tonight and prove it even more that I can still do my job and do it better than these guys.
Did you ever think that you'd make it this far?
Yeah.
I did too. You know, there wasn't a doubt in my mind when I showed up.
When Hunter asked me if he thought I would make it this far, I answered, well, yeah, but what I was thinking is, I didn't think you would make it this far. So, there's that.
I mean, you can look at somebody's hat shape. You can
Oh,
look
yeah.
at the way people dress, what
Oh,
they
yeah.
drive. I mean, there's so many things that people read, and you read me and I read you, and it was kind of like okay, this guy's from both sides. This guy's like, okay, at least there's somebody here that's handy.
Did you grow up on a ranch?
You know, I didn't grow up on a ranch. I didn't grow up running a bunch of cows. I didn't grow up roping. I didn't grow up doing none of that.
You
grew
didn't
up,
rope even growing up or anything like that?
Not till I was probably 14.
That's the first time you picked up a rope?
Yeah, I got my start in rodeo for my grandma. She bought me a rope and some bull riding chaps. The work kind of really helped me out with that and drove me to that, and that's why I rope. Man, I don't know, that's luck.
Yeah. I mean, I never really have believed in luck, to be honest with
Right.
you. I don't believe that good things happen to people who wait. I think good things happen to people who show up and take them. I didn't grow up on a big 10,000 acre ranch with mommy and daddy's money.
Right.
You know, I grew up on a farm in Michigan, throwing small square bales, you know.
Right.
My dad rodeoed and stuff, but my dad started running around with the wrong people and started having issues with substance abuse.
Right.
And then when I went off to college, I had some people call me from my hometown and said, hey, your family farm is in the newspaper that had been foreclosed on. I started from nothing, man. I didn't have nothing but literally a fold-up lawn chair and this sorrel horse. I'm a self-made cowboy. I bought my first ranch at 22. I took this raw piece of land in. It had timber on it. The brush was as tall as I am. There was no fence on it. They told me I couldn't do what I wanted with this piece of land. It was too raw, wasn't gonna work, too much work. And I said, watch me.
Man, I feel like everybody's got their own personal story. Everybody's been through things. Life is not a fun game to play, but we get to play it. Coming on this competition, everybody has something to prove. And I feel like for me, it's only me. I'm not saying that my dog died or my ranch is failing or all this other stuff. I'm here to win for me, and if you can't accept that, then so be it. I'm gonna win it anyway. I don't regret being the way I am. I don't regret people not liking me. There's a lot of people that aren't gonna like me.
Same.
At the end of the day, that don't matter. They don't pay our bills.
It's all about the man that's staring back at you when you shave.
Coming up,
You got 5 minutes to show us your horse.
Gosh, this is a game changer. I hope I don't screw it up.
We'll see how to do here. You here?
Right now, there's 4 of us left. We have another competition here in just a little bit, and it's gonna get tough. I'm gonna need to make up some ground and prove that I deserve to be here.
all right, cowboys, welcome to part 2 of the challenge. Way back when we started this competition, you broke 4 young horses.
Riding, JP!
At that point, the horses never been saddled or ridden, but I gave you all the tasks to get them trained and ready to ride. Now's the time to see the fruits of your labor. You're each going to take one horse, take them through a trail obstacle course. First, you'll have to guide your horse over some logs. After that, we'll cross a deep creek, walk over a tarp. This can be challenging for a young colt. They don't understand the look or the feeling, and then push a steer into the arena. You'll each have 25 minutes to complete the task, all right? You're gonna pick your horse based on the order you finished in the steer challenge. So you get the advantage of choosing your favorite colt before the other cowboys in the new challenge.
Because I won the first challenge, I get to pick first. I'm excited, I'm happy, but with that being said, you know, we're so close to the end, I need to keep my head in the game, focused.
JP, which one of those colts you want?
I picked Dougie.
Dougie.
Yes, sir.
Y'all named these colts?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Dougie.
Dougie Fresh, he's that little bay horse. I've been working on Dougie Fresh. He was a tough one. But he's coming around, and I think I can get this done on him. I need to win this challenge.
All right, who's next?
I'll take Littlefoot.
Littlefoot.
It's a little sorrel colt.
Okay.
I'm frustrated, yeah. Tyler got second. He picked Littlefoot. That's the sorrel that I had been riding the whole time. I had done most of the work with this little sorrel. Sprayed him off, just riding him, getting him broke and gentled down. Tyler picks him.
I have rode Littlefoot from the beginning. I've been a part of Littlefoot's progress. You know, I roped Littlefoot in the arena. I've kind of been right there, and I feel the most comfortable around Littlefoot.
Hunter.
I'll take that mare, Miss DeWanda.
Miss
DeWanda.
DeWanda.
Yeah.
That was Jackson's
That
name.
was it.
I don't even want to know who Miss DeWanda was. If Jackson named the...
Yeah.
All right.
Since I didn't get the one that I've been training on, I got the one that Jackson trained on. I've never ridden her. I'm just gonna have to suck it up, get through it, and it doesn't matter. I don't have to ride her. I mean, I can get on any horse in the world probably and just go on. I don't have to ride her.
And then Katie Jo, that leaves you with
I'm gonna take the dun colt, McLovin.
McLovin.
Yes, sir.
Luckily, I got left with McLovin. That's the one that I've been riding, and that's the one I'm excited to ride today.
All right. It's not just about how fast you do this. We're going to be assessing how far you've brought these colts and how you handle them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. How you do with your colt today and how you did in the steer gathering challenge will be the key factors I look for in the next elimination.
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know, working with horses and being a horse trainer, it's a passion. It's something that you have to love, and I love it. You know, I have so much respect for horses. They pay every bill in the house. They put food on the table. A cowboy, he's nothing without his horse.
All right, JP, you're up.
I'm just gonna see the
Like
logs.
a man on fire here. Little issue here. You're just gonna take him back and say, no, we're gonna do this right. Looky here.
John Paul's going after it.
Let's see how it do here. His horse didn't hardly box the water at all. Let's see how he gets out. Little lunge there.
Pretty good.
Let's see about the tarp here. Let's see this situation. He's gonna look at it a little bit. See if we can talk him into it. Shoot. He had 2 feet. Now he's got them all on him.
That's good. So he kept putting pressure on him, putting pressure on him. When he stepped in there, then he got quiet. I mean, that's...
But he held him steady.
Yeah,
with his
held him
hands.
steady and kept him moving.
Now it's time to gather the steer, push it towards the arena.
Right into a lope again.
Yeah.
John Paul's not afraid to ask him to go, you know. He's in the arena. That seems like that was pretty fast right there, guys. Good job, John Paul.
Good job.
Good job.
Good job.
I know we said this is the end of the competition, but we have one more chance for you to show off your horse training skills.
I'll give you this rope, and you can use it if you want. You got 5 minutes to show us your horse.
Gosh, this is a game changer. I had never swung a rope on that horse before. I hope I don't screw it up.
Let's see how he handles this, what he does. There. He hung it on that horn. Let's rub that colt down with that thing a little bit, jig around here, swing it.
Yeah, he feels pretty confident. He's just building him loose, gonna chase him around. Go ahead and get him moving.
Look at here. Let's see if he's, yeah, look at him. He's swinging that rope. He ain't worried about it at all. Look at there.
There he went.
See how he kept control of that horse.
Now JP's just showing off. He has full and total control of his young colt. That's a great job.
He's just showing you he's capable.
All right, JP, you didn't use up your 5 minutes, but we didn't think you needed it.
I appreciate that. Thank y'all, sir.
Good job.
Good job.
I'm so proud of Dougie. He did so awesome. If I win this, I'm gonna try to buy Dougie for doing such a good job.
See you in the arena at sundown.
My strategy is to take it slow and easy. I want to let the judges know that I am in complete control of the horse without having to pull him around and make him do things he doesn't want to do. I want to show my horse trusts me so much, he's going to go through this stuff nice and easy.
Show him to us.
Check it out
Colt's
a little bit.
hesitant, but he's gonna come right on across him.
Kept him moving
That's
forward
good.
the whole
Yeah.
time. That
Never
looked
let
good.
him just plumb stop on him.
Up next, he's got to get his colt through the creek.
Cross that. See how he does
I
handles
like
the
how he
tarp
come
now.
out of the water good, kind of quiet.
All right, here comes the tarp.
A tarp on the ground to a colt looks like a pit of death. It's way more difficult than what it sounds.
We'll let him look at it.
Got 2 feet on it. There you go. That's good.
Now, none of these colts have worked cows before, so he needs to be slow, but show authority so that the colt knows who's in charge.
He's gonna circle him down through them trees and coming back towards the pen now.
I think he got lucky with that steer. He just...
Yeah, steer went a good pattern.
Steer coming right back to the house where he's used to be, and now he's gonna lope his colt a little bit.
The thing I don't like right there is the whole time that horse is kind of laying on his left leg and kind of bowing his body instead of squaring up and going more towards him. You can see Tyler, he's trying to kind of hide it.
He could have easily steadied that horse with his hand and made that colt get off of his leg just by applying a little pressure.
Tyler, come up here. Now that the colt's in the arena, we're gonna have to take this one step further.
Here's this breakaway rope. You got 5 minutes. Use it if you want. Show your horse off.
Okay. I was not expecting Cash Myers to hand me a rope when I got in the arena. Roping on a horse doesn't happen overnight. You know, there's something spinning around their head, the noise that the rope makes, you know, if it happens to touch them somewhere. I mean, they're very sensitive colts.
Getting him used to the rope.
This would be a time to go ahead and be a little bit of a cowboy and try a little bit. He's done a good job, this colt. It's a good time to see if he can show him off.
All right, Tyler, good job.
Thank you. I just finished this challenge, and me and Littlefoot, I feel like we killed it. I couldn't ask anything more out of the horse. The challenge wasn't too easy. Honestly, I just think I did it so good that people are gonna think, wow, that was just an easy challenge.
All right, we'll see you in the arena tonight.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coming up.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Here's a breakaway rope.
I don't need it.
You can rope him or track him or do whatever you want with it.
Are you kidding me? No, no. When this competition started, we collectively picked 4 colts that never had been saddled or broken to break. So today, it's a test. How far have we come with these colts? I got the one that Jackson trained on. I've never ridden her, but I've still got to go into this competition and do my best and do it the right way, and it's a smooth way and the safe way. And at the end of the day, I feel like if I just say that, I'll be fine.
All right, Hunter. Do it for us. He's just walking to those logs, taking it slow and easy. It's all pretty smooth right now, under control.
It's got him moving down the road. Looks good.
Yeah.
Coming up here
To the water.
to the crossing.
Having a little trouble getting out there. He got out good.
Little
Oh,
nut.
kind of grabbed his old tail a little bit. Got him a
Little
weed.
tree branch
got
coming
him a
out
little
of there
tree
a
branch
Just a
hung in
limb?
there. Hung in
Yeah.
that tail.
Oh,
There, he
yeah.
got him out
Held
of
it all pretty good.
Yeah.
He was sure worried about it. I tell you can tell.
He wasn't liking it too good.
All right, here comes the tarp.
Yeah, he just, there, he kind of boogered him a little now. And 2 feet on it. He's getting 2 on it. He's having that getting 3.
He's not showing a lot of confidence in himself or the horse.
Just the whole time, he's just barely getting him into a trot.
Let's see what's,
Hunter is really struggling with his colt.
well, let's go give him a chance to do better.
Yeah, bet.
Hunter, come here.
See that horse pushing on his left side there?
Cash got something for you.
All right, Hunter, good job getting your cow in here.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Here's a breakaway rope. You got 5 minutes.
I don't need it.
You can rope him or track him or do whatever you want with it.
Saying? Are you kidding me? No, no. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that colt sure can kick, can't you?
You know, he's got his horse where he can handle him and stuff like that until you make the wrong little bump. He should have desensitized his horse a whole lot more.
Well, he had a chance to pick another horse.
Yep.
Yeah, he
That's the
did.
one he picked.
That's the one he picked. All right, Hunter. I'll see you in the arena at sundown.
I feel like I did my job the best that I could do with what I had, and I made it work.
This horse obstacle course is really important to me because I really need to make up some ground over these guys, and I really feel like McLovin is going to give me the chance to do that.
All right, K. Joe, your turn. Let's see it.
Here she comes to the trot already. See what she does here crossing this first set of logs. He's looking. She's just still
Keep him
riding.
moving good, yep.
She's doing good.
There you
Trotting
go.
between the next one. Trotting
him
right
look
over.
out
Look
when
at
I like
here.
that.
She's got him.
She's not
stepping
afraid
on
to
out.
go ahead and go after something, do something,
Right.
and show him right there, you know.
Yeah.
See how we hit the water? He's looking. He's stepping on down in there. Well, he kind of went back
Tested
out
out
there a
once,
little
she got
bit.
him moving.
He tested it a minute. Let's see what she does here. He's gonna go
He's
now.
gonna go.
Yeah, he's just gonna step off.
I like that.
I like
He
it
never
real
jumped.
slow, never jump.
Had him under control, helped him out
Correct.
of there.
Yeah.
You know, I like he never jumped. He stepped
Right.
all
Yeah.
4 feet, stepped in there,
Right.
and then walked in there.
Look at that tarp. Looks like yeah. Well, he caught that tarp with his foot, boogered him a little. Now
There
he's
you go.
going.
I like her persistence. She is going after every step of this course.
Right now she's way ahead of Tyler.
There,
They
she's
got
too
him in a
low.
low.
Yep, to a low.
She
Got
just
him
gonna-
bridled up, both hands
Yeah.
right there, got him between his knees.
Yeah.
That looks good.
I like how she got her hands out in front of her where she can guide that horse.
Katie Joe's showing real control of the horse and the steer.
Turned around like he's supposed to.
There she got him in here.
Come here, Cash wants to give you something.
Katie Joe, I'll give you this rope. You got 5 minutes steering the arena. Show him off however you want.
Do whatever you want to do with it.
Holy moly! Didn't see that one coming. I just have to trust in my training and hope that it comes through.
Colt seeing it. Keep
Yeah.
pushing him forward. That's a good job right there.
Yeah.
This Colt here, like I said, he's been shy, a
Yeah.
little more head shy than the other Colt we've seen, but
Just got him right back in
got him right
position
back in there.
there.
He stayed in position the whole time.
She missed, but she's still controlling the steer. That's the important thing.
She's done a good job with this Colt.
All right, Katie Joe, good job.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you in the arena after a while.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Good job,
All right.
Katie.
Coming up, Katie Joe, you started out strong. I don't know what to tell you, you know. It's been a pleasure watching you.
Going into the elimination tonight, I'm nervous. Coming back from the arena tonight, there'll only be 3 of us, and I deserve to be one of those 3. I have shown up more times than not and done my job, so I think that I deserve to stay here, and I will dang sure let him know that.
I don't know how everybody did with their colts, I haven't heard, but I will not be going home. And if I have to explain myself to Trace and the judges, I've done it several times thus far. I'm not afraid to do it again.
What's going on?
Not much.
Man, I want to talk to you about the other day. I think it was just a misunderstanding on my part. You know, me and JP, we've had our spat.
Just keep going to the truck, JP.
Oh, Hunter just roped one at the same time.
Why would they do that? So our plan was to never run the bulls. If I was to miss, we were just gonna keep balling them up.
So that bull was walking.
Are you gonna let me talk? Because I let you talk.
Yeah, I'll let you talk.
Okay.
Go on, say it.
I'm trying. But I'm a firm believer of, you know, getting over it and leaving it as it lays and move on. I'm sorry I lost my cool on the bull deal. Looking back, hindsight's 20/20, and you did the right thing by going after the one that I pursued first.
You know, Tyler and I, we really did. I mean, I was upset, really upset with them. Well, if you want to do it, here, have it at it then. You think you're cowboy enough to do it?
Yeah.
Do it, son.
You watch, he'll be in the trailer.
But when he came to me and he apologized, and you have to respect a man when he comes in and he admits he's wrong. I probably said a lot of stuff just in the heat of the moment, but I understand you were upset and I was upset. And
You take my apology?
yes, sir, I do.
Yeah, good. I sincerely mean it when I apologize to JP, but at the same time, if I can get me and JP to stick together and have each other's back, that would be ideal. I just want to make it through this next elimination.
I do too. You think Hunter's gonna be gunning for us?
Oh yeah, I think that's Hunter's game plan. If
Right.
Trace asks, we pick Hunter to go home.
I agree.
We're walking down to elimination tonight. There's 4 of us left. You know, there's no immunity buckle. There's nothing saving any of us. And I am not going home. It means so much that I made it this far, but I will not be satisfied if I am not the ultimate cowboy. I cannot go home tonight, and I can't stress that enough.
Good evening, Cowboys.
Good
Good evening.
There's 4 of you left. Somebody's gonna go home tonight. We're not gonna judge y'all tonight on just what you did with these colts this evening. That's part of it. But after I watched y'all work those colts, I thought about it for a while, and it kind of looked to me like every one of you was kind of a representation of kind of the way you've approached this whole thing, I thought. And JP, the way you've performed on the last few elimination challenges has been pretty impressive. And we watched you work with that colt, and I was impressed.
He's just showing you he's capable right here.
You didn't use up your 5 minutes, but we didn't think you needed it.
I appreciate that. Thank y'all.
But I look back over this whole thing, and at the beginning, you were a little quiet, a little laid back, and I'm just wondering if coming on strong here at the end, if it's too little too late.
No, sir. I was just trying to play my spot everywhere and be a hand. I'm not trying to showcase anybody, but this is my start, and this is a start for my family and my legacy for my children. So that's why I'm here, and I'm trying to give it all I can because I really want to be here.
Who would you send home?
I'd send Hunter home
Why?
because he sent one through the fence with us on one elimination.
Ah! Oh, Hunter missed right there.
Hunter missed.
Oh, and through the
Ran
fence.
him out.
Another reasoning would be on the first elimination, you know, he wasn't there. All right, we got everybody together or not?
No.
Where's everybody
I
at?
don't know.
Them boys should be back by now. This pasture ain't that big.
They didn't take a picnic basket, did they, Trace?
There's just been a few bobbles there, and I think that's what it's coming down to in this competition is just little bobbles.
I got something to say about that too.
You'll get your chance. And Tyler, super conservative approach with that colt. Just being cautious, not wanting to make any mistakes. Is that the way you played the game? Tried not to make any mistakes and kind of fly under the radar? Because
No, Trace, I feel like I did the opposite. I don't feel like I flew under the radar. I felt like in different challenges, I tried to put myself in jeopardizing positions. With this colt, he was real stiff to the right, and I wanted to hide that from you guys. Just like selling a horse, if you know that the horse has an issue over here, I tried my best to stay away from that.
That's exactly what we said the whole time we were watching, and every time that colt tried to make a mistake, it was more about hiding the mistake instead of correcting the mistake, picking him up.
It was just like, I'm just gonna hide this, we're just gonna go here, go there.
I felt like if I can show off the things that he is good at, I would rather showcase that than start a fight with him. The horse can sure enough throw a fit.
just you on a regular day on the ranch, yeah, absolutely. That's the way you treat that colt, right? This is competition. We were wanting to see you push just a little bit. Why should I let you stay here and try to finish this thing out?
I would argue that I want it more than any of them, and I need it. This is life-changing for me. It really is. You know, I lost the family farm, and I had to start out from scratch. I've got grit, determination, try, passion, and I know I've shed tears, blood, and sweat here. I want it bad. All of my eggs are in this basket, Trace, and I'll do anything to prove it.
Who do you think I ought to send home?
I think you ought to send Hunter home.
Why?
I think throughout all the challenges, he's just shown time and time again that he's a hand with a rope, but when it comes to just overcoming situations, he's always crying about it. Whether it's too hot or too cold, or his horse is too hot, or he didn't draw right, it's just always something. Like I said, I don't think he's not a good cowboy, but if someone had to go home, I would think that it's him.
I rode the sorrel that he had. He rode him maybe twice. Maybe twice Tyler rode him, and that is it.
I rode him more than that.
No. You can ask everybody else that come down here. I'd come down here in the day, spray him off, saddle him, ride him. I rode that colt quite a bit down here.
And you complained that you got stuck with that colt too.
That he got stuck with the one he rode today, or the one that you rode?
The one that I had originally, he didn't like him because he bucked too hard.
He didn't.
I
never said he bucked too hard. I said he's wild. Scared to get on him?
That's why I got on him, right? You said, heck, he's bucking with that saddle. I said, I'll
give me a break.
Hunter, I recall back, I think it was the first day, the first challenge, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
And you ended up out here?
Yes, sir.
And I said to you, you better bring it.
Yes, sir.
You know, when I told you I wanted to step it up, I didn't mean you should make enemies out of everybody that's left here and be a jerk. And that's not the word I wanted to use, but it's the only one I could.
I mean, I can't help it that they want me all to go home. I want the best one here to go home, too.
All right, well, let's talk about what you did on the colt this afternoon, and it just looked like, you know, I don't know, when you got faced with something that looked maybe just a little hairy, you just backed off of it.
Jackson's the only one that rode that mare, and he told everybody else not to touch her. Well, she kicks and paws, and heck, she kicked me in the foot when I was asking her to do something. That mare's pretty dang wild.
We knew what you had and what horse you picked, but from our part of doing that was the time for you to shine. Honestly, you got the sorriest colt, you be the best cowboy. And it looked like every time that mountain come to climb that you just retreated.
I'll admit, you got her broke over at the post.
Looks really good.
Looks really good. You got her turning around decent, but you can't go to work on it.
No, not yet.
Well,
but I would probably put 30 days
we
on
drag
it.
calves on them in less than 10 days.
Yep.
I mean, it's just cowboy up.
I mean, Trace, I think there's $50,000 worth of reasoning to put yourself in that spot right there.
All right, Hunter, have you done enough to stay? Should you stay here?
At every immunity challenge, I've been right at the top in just about every one of them. Every time I've showed up, I've done my job, and I mean, wasn't afraid to just get run over in any situation, rope anything, whatever. I rode my horse as hard as I could ride him, and I tried every time I come in here, and I deserve to be here. If anybody should go home, it probably ought to be Tyler, to be honest with you.
You think Tyler ought to go home?
Without a doubt.
All right, well, I think I understand why you feel that way. Katie Jo?
Yes, sir.
Last couple of challenges, you know, kind of let us down a little bit. Anything you want to say about that? Well, Katie Jo?
Yes, sir.
Last couple of challenges, you know, kind of let us down a little bit. You came in last on that challenge. Anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, I came in last, but I still deserve to be here because I did the job. I caught my cows the same as them, and you know, yeah, it might have taken me a little longer, but as you can see, I'm not a whole lot. I mean, I'm not the same size as these guys, and.
Well, like I said, I'm looking at overall stuff. And
Yes, sir.
why do you think you should be in the final 3?
I believe I should stay because I can do the job the same as these guys. I got thrown into a leadership role early on in this deal, and I took a hold of it, and my team won, and consistently won for a long time. And I never back down. They want me to ride point, I ride point, I hold my spot. And I'm not afraid to speak up and tell people where to go, what they're doing wrong. And I mean, I deserve it just because I'm just as good as anybody else here.
You know, you brought up the word leadership, and I've seen some of that from JP. I've seen some of that from Tyler. What about you, Hunter? Did you step out? I don't remember really seeing you step out in a leadership role. So if I've seen Tyler do that, why do you still think he ought to go home?
I mean, just not go back to the Colts. I mean, he sat up there every afternoon, didn't come a couple, 2 or 3 times.
Well, if you'd have won the
several different times where he's
if you'd have won the challenge, you wouldn't have had to worry about Tyler getting your coat.
just been several different things, like falling off the horse that day in the relay race, and then he got moved to another team, and I don't know what happened over there, but
We won.
perfect.
Well, let's just get into it. Katie Jo, you started out strong. I mean, impressed everybody, showed us your leadership skills. And then the last couple of challenges, I don't know, you had some bad days, you know. I don't know what to tell you, you know. It's been a pleasure watching you. And I want to see some more of it from you. Hunter, pack your personals and hit the trail. You're done.
Yes, sir.
Tough luck, buddy. Good luck.
Good luck to you, Hunter.
Thanks,
All right.
Job, guys.
I'm pretty mad about this deal right now. I'm not real happy. You know, Tyler wants to lie like that. That's okay. He can lie like that. But at the end of the day, I feel like they're sending the wrong person home. Should have sent Tyler. He's not a real hand. He's a rodeo stock contractor, stands on the back of the buck and shoots and flanks pulls. That's about all he knows how to do, and that's about all he's good at. He was out-mounted to begin with, and yeah, I'd have sent me home too if I was that afraid of me. I really would have. Life goes on. I can't just throw a fit about it because it ain't gonna do no good. I get to go home and sleep in my bed tonight. Just gonna go on my way, take the chocolate as a loss. I won 4th.
Well, looky here. We're down to the final 3. This is the cream of the crop. You all deserve to be here. You should be really proud of yourself. I mean, really. This has been tough, it's been challenging, it's been hard. So, 3 of you left. 1 of you is gonna win $50,000 worth of cattle, an Arrowquip Q-Catch cattle chute, and a rawhide corral. Congratulations for getting to the final 3. We'll settle this thing next time.